Okay, so the flow goes like this. I will be introducing myself, college, and when I come to the actual discussion, the first questions I will take up to deans and faculty in charge. Piyush sir will go first, next Kirti ma'am, next Sarala ma'am, and then Pradeep sir. After that, Pranmay sir. So I'll be covering all the specialization in charge first, and then the next question for Rajeshwari ma'am, Akash, and Dr. Subodh. Hope this flow is okay. Then the second question, I will come back if I have time, or any interesting questions from the chat, I will pick it up. Please all be looking at the chat also. If you feel something can be answered then and there itself, please do that. Hope I'm clear. So we'll start the Meet the Faculty of this year's. Yeah.
Will I admit all now, sir?
Yes.
Yes, Brahma.
Hello.
Good evening, welcome all for the webinar Meet the Faculty. Teaching students well-being and life skills in school is the best way to ensure the future generations flourish. So IHMR is one of the unique institutions where students not only excels in academic, but also in communication skills, emotional skills, life skills, mental health through positive education and positive pedagogy. I am Dr. Deepa, working as assistant professor and a proud alumni of IHMR Bangalore. It's my privilege to introduce my college to you, and then all-awaited event, that is the Meet the Faculty. Next slide. Next slide, Lambodar. Previous one. IHMR Bangalore was started in the year 2004 and established itself as a unique research, education and training organization in healthcare sector. We back on our sister organization, that is IHMR Society, which was established in the year 1984 and one and only organization which was taking up the healthcare management. IHMR campus received AICTE approval for PGDM courses in the year 2010, and in the year 2015, our IHMR Bangalore is one of the first South Indian institutions to receive NABET accreditation as a consultancy organization for NABH. In 2017, we have introduced a new specialization called as Healthcare Information Technology Management, which was a need for the hour. The next important milestone which IHMR Bangalore has achieved is 2018, where we received MBA equivalence for our PGDM program by Association of Indian Universities, and also IHMR Bangalore was accredited by National Board of Accreditations. In the 2020, though pandemic, we have expanded educational program offerings, which is the pharmaceutical management, and also the batch size was increased from 160 to 120. Next slide, Lambodar. We have 4 verticals at IHMR Bangalore. As I said earlier, academics plays a very major role in our IHMR Bangalore, where we offer the post-graduation program in hospital and healthcare management. It's a 2-year full-time course, which is with specialization in hospital management, health IT management, and pharmaceutical management, with the excellent placement record in the past. The next vertical is research and publications. IHMR Bangalore is a renowned research institution in South India for healthcare projects. Type of projects we take up is evaluation, formative, implementation research, and social assessments. The thrust area where we work more is reproductive, maternal, and neonatal child health, life course health, non-communicable diseases, health communications, and digital health. We do take up projects in urban, rural, and tribal areas. The next important vertical of IHMR Bangalore is the training program. We do proudly call it as Learning and Development Cell at IHMR Bangalore. We take up management development programs, faculty development programs, and executive development programs at IHMR Bangalore. Along with that, we also offer certificate programs with renowned universities and also student engagement programs and webinar series. We are equipped to conduct in-person, virtual, and hybrid mode of programs, and we are very well known in that. The next area of vertical we work is the consultancy, where we do take up individual faculty consultancies and the institutional consultancies. We take up NABH for healthcare organizations, quality management, growth and strategy, and project impact assessments for different healthcare organizations. Next slide, Varghese. Coming to the awards and recognition, IHMR Bangalore has ranked as the top management college by Higher Education Review magazine in the year 2017 and 2018. In the year 2020, we received National Award for Excellence in Education in the category Best Academic and Industry Interface by World Education Congress. In 2021, we received the Weeks magazine ranking has a Best B School rank 11 and Outlooks has Best B School rank 10 in Bangalore. In 2021, we were also awarded as the Best Business School by the Knowledge Review magazine. Next slide, Varghese. Coming to the accreditations and empanelment, we have been accredited by the AICTE for our flagship program, post-graduation program in healthcare and hospital management, and it also been accredited by National Board of Accreditations. Our program has been awarded MBA equivalence by Association of Indian Universities, and we also have been registered under National Institution Ranking Framework, that's NIRF. Next. We have been empaneled with Jal Jeevan Mission as the key resource center for training for L3 level. We have also been empaneled with NHSRC, that is for the research in healthcare system strengthening, and also as a consultancy organization under NABET. And also we have been empaneled with National Health Authority for the facility assessment of healthcare entities for state health authorities under PMJY. And also we have been empaneled with Karnataka Evaluation Authority, where we are empaneled as MND partners, and we evaluate the healthcare projects. Next slide, Varghese. A teacher was seen as a lecturer or someone who delivered knowledge and conducted tests. A teacher was perceived as someone who had answers to every possible questions a student asked, a gatekeeper or of all the resources and information too. A teacher plays a very important role in students' life and also in their career. Teachers should be the best mind in the country, as said by Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. So let me take a few minutes to introduce the best minds of IHMR Bangalore. Mr. Piyush Kumar, Associate Professor and Associate Dean Trainings. During his vast career span of 15 years, he has gained international experience through various assignments across Middle East, South Asia, and North Africa, making him well-versed in regional and global healthcare. He is expert in strategic business consulting, hospital project, operation management, and digital healthcare solutions. His career highlights are he worked as a program manager, transformational health in Frost & Sullivan, assistant manager, operations and planning in JP Group, and executive operations at Fortis Healthcare. He is also experienced in managing more than 250 research and consultancy projects across Middle East, South Asia, North Africa in project management and execution, design thinking, research and data analysis, team mentoring, and motivation. Welcome to you, sir. Piyush, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Pradeepa. Thank you for the nice introduction.
Sir, you have vast experience in the industry, not only in India, but also in outside India or in the Middle East. And I think you have seen different healthcare sectors also. And being an associate dean at trainings in IHMR Bangalore, what are the industry-based training programs are included in the curriculum for our students, sir? And what is the skills required for that?
Yeah, so thank you, Pradeepa. So making our students industry ready is a prime focus at IHMR Bangalore, and we do it in multiple ways. So when it comes to the IHMR curriculum, so in curriculum, there are summer trainings, which are mandatory for students to go for summer training in the industry. They have to do the observership, undertake certain projects for 2.5 months, which gives them a very vast exposure, which happens in second year as well. So there's nearly, I would say, nearly 6 months of total industry exposure as a part of academic curriculum itself. Now, within this curriculum, when the classrooms are going on, there are also specific industry visits. For example, if we are talking about hospital planning, then students go to the hospital to see the practical aspects of planning, how it happens, what are the things present in the hospital, and then that is learning by doing. If it is like research, public health, then they go and visit the primary healthcare, the CHCs, PHCs, interact with these people, work on short duration project. So they do the live problem solving, and that's how they understand the industry dynamics. Another way is that bringing industry people on board for interaction. Now, during the classroom sessions, besides the faculty teaching these students, we also invite a lot of industry people. For this, we have many academic partners and industrial partners. For example, we have association with VPS Healthcare in Abu Dhabi. We have Sanitas Healthcare in Africa. We have HX Central, a leading healthcare IT platform, which is based in India. We are then VPS Healthcare. So there are many of these industry partners from where we invite these people. They talk about their practical live experiences, and students get an opportunity to interact with them. So this is about the curriculum itself. Now there is another parallel activity set which happens, which is the training part of it. So from the training department, we organize a series of learning initiatives, which are like webinars. For example, there is a webinar series called Ignited Minds, which specifically targets the C-level executive, like COO, CFO, CIOs. And these sessions are always open for students. They are primarily meant for our student itself. So these people, when they come for this session, they bring their experiences. We have discussions about the recent trends, about the growth of the companies, what is the future of the sector. And this is all conducted, managed, and interacted by the student itself. So it's all the student activity. They have to identify the industry personnel. They have to create the questionnaire, the discussion guide, engage with him, get him on board, and also conduct the parallel session. So this is from the training perspective. Then besides this, we also develop a lot of program for the industry professional, those who are working in the industry and they need to upskill themselves, like maybe like marketing manager, general manager operations, and others. So these programs are a bit advanced level as compared to what are being taught in the academic curriculums at the initial level. So this is the next opportunity for the students. For example, if they have completed their module in operations or quality management or maybe marketing management, then we have a very high-end advanced module or course going on the digital marketing, where it's a next level of the digital marketing is being taught. So our students get opportunity to be a part of this training program. Maximum time, these training programs are almost free of cost for them. And sometimes they are very highly subsidized. So I would say now, right now, we have a program going on for the quality management in which many of our students are participating. We have a program going on certificate in nutrition. So the people who over the course of 1.5 years, 2 years, they realize that nutrition is a key segment which they would like to explore. or quality is somewhere they want to have extra knowledge, so that whenever they would move into the industry, they possess something more as compared to the peers. So they are a part of it. Now for the next 3 months, next 6 months, they will be thoroughly trained on those particular aspects. So this is how we have knitted the academic and this training and development curriculum. So both the things happens parallelly, and we have a lot of industry personals coming to our institute. We have Professor Sadgopan. We recently had Mr. Ankit, who is from Barefoot. So he's taking a series on social entrepreneurship and innovation. There are a series of 3 webinars, which totally, completely managed and organized by students, for the students, by the students. Then tomorrow itself, I would say, tomorrow 10:30, we have a discussion about that, what is holding digital health, what is the future for the students, what career opportunities they have, and what skill set they need to have. So we have 2 faculties, industry professionals coming from Australia and from Canada. So that's how our students keep on interacting. So it's a regular work for them. They have no escape. And by the time the 2 years, we ensure that they are industry ready. We put them for internship in big multinational consulting firms like Korn Ferry, PwC, McKinsey, and others. So that is about the industry development.
Thank you, Piyush sir. I think the points you highlighted is the dissertation or the training programs or STP we offer for where students with, it's a compulsory one where the students are post in hospitals and they will get the exposure. The second thing is we are bringing back the industry experts as industry mentors also, so they can interact with them and get an exposure. And the most important thing you highlight this is like the students are organizing these kind of events, which is a value addition for them in the future, right? Sir, you also said that there is an upcoming program that what holds on the digital health. I think the participants would be interested if you put the link for registration in the chat, and we would like to, and participant would be know more about that, sir. Coming back to the discussion, next slide, Lambodar. We have with us Dr. Kirti Uday, Associate Dean, Academics and Students Affairs, IHMR Bangalore. She has completed her doctorate in management and postgraduate in hospital and healthcare management. She has over 15 years of experience in the healthcare industry and academics. She's also an NQAS, that is a National Assessor for National Quality Assurance Standards, and is responsible for assessing public health facilities across India for quality assessment of public hospitals. She has worked with key organizations like Kokilaben Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital, Max Healthcare, Fortis Healthcare. Before joining HMR, she also worked as Fortis Healthcare as marketing head. She's also the board member of a research advisory committee of Monilink Foundation, and she has published several journals in national and international repute, and chaired international conferences of public health in Sri Lanka and Malaysia in the last 5 years. Welcome to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Deepa.
Ma'am, the question is like, ma'am, you have, I'm also should say that you're a proud alumni of IHMR Jaipur. From student to academics dean, you have seen different levels and different kind of people working with you, and with a vast academic experience, I would like to know, ma'am, what are the skill sets are required to work in healthcare or hospital management?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Deepa. I will request everybody kindly mute your mic. IT team can please look into it. Yeah, thank you. I will also request all the participants, because I know most of you have taken admission at IHMR Bangalore and those who are aspirants as well. I will request kindly drop your question on the chat box so that we can take up your question. It's first time you are meeting the faculty members of IHMR Bangalore. So I know there must be a lot of questions. So kindly drop your question in the chat box, and definitely Dr. Deepa will take care of that. Okay, so coming back to the question of Dr. Deepa. Yeah, placement question will be addressed in the next question. Dr.
Next question, ma'am.
Dr. Sarla will brief on the placement activity. All right. So coming back to the Dr. Deepa's question, talking about what is the skill sets required. Now, I will correlate this with the placement activity as well, because ultimately the recruiters who are coming to the institute, they are looking for a required skill set among the student. And how we are matching those skill set and what skill set are required, that's what I'm going to address as per Dr. Deepa's question. So the first skill set, which is mandatory irrespective of the industry, that is communication ability. So if you are planning to join any managerial position, irrespective of the industry, be it healthcare industry, education industry, automobile industry, communication plays very, very imperative role. And in this case, how we support our students, again, 2-3 ways. One, we have a dedicated module for communication planning and management, where we teach the basic aspects as well as the advanced aspects of communication. Second, to prepare our students for the placement drives, we arrange a lot of aptitude tests as well as mock interviews, GDPI sessions, training sessions, where the industry experts, the trainers who are skilled into these activities, they join our institute and they teach and train the students in terms of enhancing their soft skills. In addition to that, again, we have a lot of multiple courses. For example, human process lab, communication lab. We do have a dedicated software based on communication lab. So these activities again support the students in terms of developing their communication. So communication you cannot avoid. It is very, very important and mandatory. And there where we also focus too. The second skill which is required is the leadership ability. Again, manager needs to follow someone, but they also need someone who can follow them. So in that case, leadership plays very important role. And how we develop leadership among our students, again, 2 points I would like to mention. One, we have a lot of multiple activities and extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities. For example, recently we have observed World Health Day. Recently, we have also conducted case study competition. We also celebrate festivals. We also organize conferences, seminars, webinars, and in all these activities, whether it is extracurricular activity or co-curricular activities, in all these activities, it is end to end, right from planning to execution is taken care by the students. So they understand how to lead the team, how to manage the team, which gives a kind of hands-on experience to them. That is first point. And second, in addition to all these things, we also give opportunity to our students to connect with the industry leaders, listens to their journey, listen to their stories. And this also helps them in terms of understanding the various leadership role played by the different industry leaders and how they can connect with their learning. So that is the second part. Third skill which is required is analytical and decision-making skills, which is highly expected from any manager. So how we develop analytical skills and decision-making skills? One, we give opportunity to our students to work on live projects where they work under the industry mentors, they work under the faculty mentors, and they work on the real-time business problem and support the faculty and industry mentor in terms of giving the appropriate solution. So that is one way where they learn where they enhance their analytical skills as well as decision-making ability. In addition to that, again, students also work on multiple presentations or conference presentations, research papers. Again, we have a dedicated module on research methodology, communicative study, community studies. And these modules help our students in terms of integrating research in terms of enhancing their analytical ability. So these are like few examples. The another important point, which is very important, is the domain knowledge, which I will say technical knowledge. So which is already mentioned by Mr. Piyush, that how we support our students in terms of enhancing their technical knowledge with respect to industry lectures, summer training programs, dissertation. The course curriculums are designed in such a way so that you are ready to join the industry. But above all these 4 skills, I will say one successful skill, which is the need of an hour for any healthcare manager. And that is creativity and innovation. If you are unique in your own way, in your own thought process, nobody can beat you anywhere in the industry. So again, we support our student in terms of developing the creativity and innovation skill with the help of, again, multiple activity. First is we have a dedicated entrepreneurship cell. So again, faculty mentor and a team of students, they manage the entrepreneurship cell right from generating ideas to putting their ideas into some appropriate business plan supported by industry mentors. So that is like one step where students think on this line and they can actually use their creativity and innovations in terms of developing their business. That is one. Second, in every module, we have a dedicated midterm assessment, which carries 30 marks for each paper. And midterm assessment is absolutely based on the faculty discretion power, what kind of assignment or assessment they want to give, which varies from role play to movie making to group presentation, quiz, case study, and so on. So again, this kind of activities help our students in terms of using their creativity and innovation skills. So these are the 5 skills what I would like to highlight for our dear students, Dr. Deepa, which really make them ready for the industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think the communication skills, the first skill which is required, and the last which you highlighted the most is creativity and innovations. The ESIL, which is working at IHMR Bangalore, is completely handled by our students. So, and many conferences and industry mentors, relationship, that also is many webinars, such a kind is managed by our students. I think that is one of the exposure a student can get at IHMR Bangalore. Ma'am, I would like to take up a question from the chat, which says that how Bangalore campus is different from Jaipur. I think you are the best person to answer that. In terms of academics and placement, I'll again take up with Sarala ma'am.
Yeah, so how Bangalore campus is different from academics. Again, I will use my own style and I will differentiate Bangalore campus with Jaipur campus with respect to 4 points. Okay. So first point, Jaipur campus is governed under UGC and Bangalore campus is governed by AICTE, and we also ensure quality education, which is marked by the government institution, that is NBA, National Board of Accreditation. Now the question comes, what is the difference between the governing between UGC versus AICTE? Now, when it comes to any institute program which is managed by AICTE, you have more freedom to upgrade your syllabus, your curriculum as per the industry requirement. It is highly skill-based program. AICTE focused more on those institutes which offered skill-based program. On the other hand, UGC governed a typical master's program, which is again a part of IHMR Jaipur. And then they have certain restrictions. They have to follow the course curriculum and syllabus under the guidelines of UGC. So, but on the other hand, the present time and the present dynamics of the healthcare industry, it's quite changing. Every day there is some new information, new learning required in the industry. So until and unless you are not actually enhancing and upgrading your syllabus based on the industry requirement, somewhere you will be outdated. So there I will pitch that Bangalore campus is better in terms of course curriculum upgradation and meeting the industry requirement. That is first point. Second point, I don't think so it's very important, but still to highlight, again, if you talk about fees, so our fees is lesser in comparison to the Jaipur fees. And in that case, you can compare, you can go to the website and you can check. Third, pharmaceutical management is present in Bangalore campus, also in Jaipur campus. But health information technology management is not present in Jaipur campus, and it is present in Bangalore campus. On the other hand, pharmaceutical management is not present in Delhi campus. So what I will say, the maximum specialization offered at the Bangalore campus: hospital management, health information technology management, and pharmaceutical management. So students have a lot of scope to actually do the research, to interact with different faculty of different domain and take their wise decision in terms of choosing their specialization for their career, which is again restriction. For example, IT is not available in Jaipur campus. Second, if you go through the industry trend, and if you are the follower of the news related to healthcare industry, then you must be aware that digital transformation, digitization of the healthcare industry is in the air. So if health IT, if you don't have any knowledge related to health IT, I think you're not meeting the essential skills which is required by a postgraduate. So in that case, again, so we have a dedicated health information technology team, a team of faculty, including the industry mentors who support the students in terms of developing their technical skills. That is the third profile, third difference. And the fourth difference, again, institute known by the faculty. So here you will see, like right now, only Dr. Deepa has introduced me and Mr. Piyush, but she will also take up the other faculty's profile as well. So we are from the industry. We are also from the academics. We are also from the research background. And we are also the one who are leading and supporting multiple organizations in the healthcare industry in different capacities. So there is a varied faculty background who are from the industry, who understand student situation, who understand student requirement, and accordingly they develop their teaching pedagogy, which is, again, if you go through the Jaipur profile faculty, so in that case, yes, they are senior, there is no question on that way, but yes, they are more academician. So we require academician, but we also require industry professionals, and the amalgamation of both will actually give you a perfect combination of faculty member. So that is what we offer at IHMR Bangalore. So personally, I have like no as such anything. It's like both the institute are good and at par in the healthcare industry. But yes, both institute carries their own unique selling proposition, their own differentiating benchmarking, and where we stand in terms of IHMR Bangalore. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Deepa.
Dr. Kirti, I think while describing UGC versus AICT, the same difference holds good for MBA and PGDM in right, Dr. Kirti?
Exactly, exactly.
And I wanted to highlight your point that is IHMR Bangalore can be a one-stop solution for all the specialization in healthcare. If you come in Bangalore, I think all the four specializations we have. And ma'am, I think you missed one. Bangalore is such a beautiful city. So I think that adds the point of view.
Fully agreed. Yeah,
yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Kirti. Lambodar, I would like, yeah. Next with us, we have Dr. Sarala, Associate Professor, IHMR Bangalore. Dr. Sarala is a social scientist with PhD in Sociology from the Institute of Social and Economic Change, Bangalore, one of the renowned institutions in social studies in India. She was the recipient of research fellowship from ICSSR for pursuing her PhD. She also has passed national eligibility test for lecturership in sociology conducted by UGC New Delhi. She has more than 10 years of experience in teaching in the field of health policy and healthcare delivery system, research methodology, health system research, and human resource management. She has a profound experience in public health research project with skills in concept development and implementation. Currently, she is working and involved in, has a PI, that is the principal investigator and the team member in various projects funded by national and international organizations such as ICMR, UNICEF, Alive and Thrive, and United Way and HCL Foundation. Welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Deepa.
The most asked question from, I think, the prospect students would be the placements. And you have been with us for more than 10 years and you have seen 10 AICT approved batches, ma'am. So can you throw us a light upon what are the critical vital activities which IHMR takes place for placements? Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Deepa, and good evening to everybody. I know you're waiting for to understand what IHMR is doing for the placements. First and foremost thing, I would like to highlight that IHMR has achieved 100% placement throughout the years, and we have started also placing the students at international level last year. That's a great achievement for us. To briefly talk about how is our placement at IHMR, we have a placement cell where we have a dedicated placement officer with executives and also the faculty advisors, where we have our dean academics and also we have all the specialized heads, the dean, IT person who takes care of it, IT in healthcare, the person who takes care of pharmaceutical management and public health and hospital management, all the faculties are part of this particular placement cell, and they contribute a lot to place each and every students in the specialized field. And also we have a students representatives from all the different specialization, and they help us actually in the placement cells to place the students. That's one important thing. And the placement cell is very active at IHMR. And if you go ahead and talk about, we've been talking about the skills required for healthcare managers. And already, Dr. Kirti has highlighted some of the skills. The most important skills, which I would like to add also, in terms of documentation, that is an important skill for any healthcare managers being in any kind of field. And apart from that, there is an aptitude test. Aptitude is very important. You have to have the right aptitude to be in this field. And the most important are, that you have to be patient, and you have to listen to the people. You have to observe what's happening. So these are some of the important skills. And also some of the software skill like Excel is very important to be in this field. And apart from this, you also can take up certain certified certifications as part of your specialization, which the faculty will guide you when you take up the course. So see, these are some of the skills which actually required to be in this particular healthcare management. And we certainly help you to acquire these skills in the process. So way from the first year, when you start, getting into the first year, we start developing your skills. So now even more compared with previous year, now I could see that now it is very focused, where you have a communication lab where you can actually go and sit and train your languages. That is one opportunity is there. Apart from that, we also organize a lot of soft skill trainings, which is already planned throughout the year, where the students are taught how to groom themselves, how do they talk, how do they face the interviews, or how do they actually do a group discussion. So all these things are actually imparted throughout the process. That means from the starting of the first year till you are getting into the placements, there is a continuous grooming of you people to actually appear for the the placements. So that's one important aspect what we are doing at IHMR. And as part of the placements, as Dr. Kirti was also already saying it, we have also industry experts interactions. We bring people from the outside. We ensure that the industry, what exactly is happening. And other thing is, as part of a coursework, we ensure that you also know what is happening, and therefore we take you to the field. Okay, we take to the field, real field, where we take you to pharma, pharma companies, we take you to IT companies, healthcare IT companies, we take you to hospitals and see exactly how it is happening. Also, a lot of some of the students are very, very much interested in quality. So whenever there is some hospitals which wanted to help them in NABH or JCA accreditations, we ensure that the students are part of the process and they understand it. Therefore, we give the students a real exposures during the coursework. Okay, that's how we build the capabilities of the students. That's one thing. And apart from this, we also ensure, we bring our alumni. That's very important. Our placement cell have a strong link with our alumni from the, from 2004 batch till now. We have strong alumni network, and during the placement, our alumni refer our students. So you go anywhere, you will see that our alumni from Bangalore have supported our students and their place. That's one of the strength of our organizations. And you all have, there was a question, where all we get opportunities. So if you see the healthcare industry, it's so vast. You have hospitals, you have healthcare IT companies, you have TPAs where, it's called third-party administrator, where the insurance companies are there. You have public health organizations, you have consultancy organizations, and so on. Therefore, you have a lot of opportunities to work in these fields. So you might have heard about very well-known organizations like, Cerner, Accenture, Cognizant, Philips, GE Healthcare, Dell Technology, Alscript. So these are some of the well-known companies which are actually in Bangalore. So when Dr. Kirti was saying about academics and what is the difference in placement in Jaipur, if you really see from the side of Bangalore, all the companies are here in Bangalore. Therefore, the opportunities are quite large as compared with Jaipur or even Delhi, I would say. And other thing is, Bangalore is known as a hub. It's startup. Okay, it's a startup. You have a lot of startups where you get a lot of opportunity to actually be part of the team, where you actually end up in actually start growing very soon. Therefore, there is an opportunity to start in a, as a management trainee, and you can grow up as a, CEO, others very soon. That opportunity is also available when you actually, take up Bangalore campus. There is a lot of things. And apart from this, we see that there are a lot of, job specifications, job opportunities in healthcare. So you can start with a management trainee or an executive. You can go as a CEO. Okay, that is an, higher one. Apart from this, you can become a quality assurance manager. You can be a patient coordinator, floor manager. You can be an operation heads. You can be a district, program coordinators if you are being in public health. You can be a business analysis. You might have heard about business analysis, where you get into an IT company and you help the IT company to get its client, help its clients' hospitals. Okay, you can be a support analyst and you can be an implementation consultant. So there are a lot of job opportunities which are there, which our students are already working. Some of the well-known, few recruiters, if you see in the past, you might have already seen in our website. We have brought Cerner. We have Deloitte, where our students are actually placed. Practo, which is expanding a lot. And you have Dell, which is a very well-known IT company, which also has healthcare IT. And to name few of the hospitals where our students are placed, from Max Healthcare to, Narayana Health, Fortis, Global Clinicals, LV Prasad in Hyderabad, and you have Apollo and Manipal groups. Now Columbia Asia is bought by Manipal, so they are there, and Cognizant and so on. So there are various opportunities in healthcare, and these are the places where our students are actually placed. Yeah, Deepa, from my side, this is what briefly I could tell about placements.
Ma'am, I thought you're still continuing, so I paused it out, ma'am.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Ma'am, thank you for highlighting the placement cell at IHMR. So at IHMR, I think that the placement is not then the program and activity. It is like throughout the course, we'll be building the skills on communication and other soft skills, right? No, ma'am? And yes. As you highlighted, alumni is our strength, and we have alumni in all over India. I would like to say that. Thank you, Sarala ma'am, for putting on the points on placements. I think most of the questions on the placements were answered. Participants, if you have more questions on placements, do put it in the chat, or any questions regarding IHMR Bangalore, you can put it in the chat. So moving ahead, Lambodar. Next with us, we have Mr. T.K. Pradeep Kumar, Assistant Professor and Faculty IT in charge, IHMR Bangalore. He has done his master's in degree in computer science and engineering, MBA in HR system, BTech in information technology, and diploma in civil engineering. With 17 years of experience in teaching and IT management, he has published a journal and attended more than 15 national and international level conferences. He is a board member of ISTE and IEI, and currently working with us. I would also like to highlight his pursuing his PhD in digital health from IHMR University. Welcome to you, sir.
Good evening,
sir. Sir, I think digital health is the next blooming sector we have in healthcare. And I would like to say that you are expert in IT skills, right? So let us know the vital role in operational excellence of IT has an operational excellence in healthcare management. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. When it comes to operations or operations efficiency, the first 5-6 factors you should closely understand. How to reduce the waiting time in a healthcare setup. That is a major focus. And second one is how effectively you are going to use the resources. And the third one is whether you are going to use less time or how much time you are going to use. And the next factor will be your cost. The cost is involved in any work you are taking up. And the cost has to be minimized and the efficiency of the work has to be increased. And finally, the quality of care. So it's not only about reducing the cost, also it is talking about a very important factor you should think of, the quality of the care. All these 5-6 factors, what I mentioned, is it possible with a paper record means? That is a challenging factor. So it is possible and it is achievable and it is solvable only with the IT. stuff. So when we start exploring about this, how can we, means we in the sense IHMR Bangalore will mold the students. Means first the students will be trained in what is health IT, how health informatics functions in the core module called health informatics. Slowly the students will be trained on the innovations in EMR and what are the achievements happened in EHR system with respect to Indian and international healthcare system, how the changes are coming up. And slowly we'll be dragging them to the interoperability, where the healthcare is in need of more demand and where the focus should be more to increase the operational efficiency, means the interoperability should play a vital role. And also we'll be training the students with respect to object-oriented programming concepts and data management systems, where the students will be focused more on all these factors, which will help them to understand what is happening in reality. And also with the help of observership and industry mentorship, and as well as internship programs, and as well as the industry student engagements through ESL. So all these factors will help the students to understand how the operational efficiency as for this can be managed with the help of IT tools, right? So with this also it will help the students to get prepared themselves for facing the interview as well. As if we closely observe, if you are talking about any startups in Bangalore or any startups throughout India or globally, the major question will be asked to the students is, what is EMR? How this operation efficiency can be increased with the help of EMR, and how this Indian healthcare system is different from other healthcare industry setups. With the help of IT environment, how it is possible. All these factors can be answered with us, means with IHMR Bangalore shortly. So if I observed 2-3 questions in the chat as well, it is one MBBS doctor is asking, shall I take any specialized course in IT, or any IT skill is mandatory? And of course, everybody is having some IT skill setup. Means by default, it is there in our logic. We are using a mobile app, we are using desktop app, we are using web applications as well. We are having all the ideas with us, but the challenge is what to be learned, at what point of time it should be learned. This IHMR Bangalore will take care. Yeah, with this short note, I'll hand over the session to Dr.
Wow, sir, thank you so much. And I think you briefly explained and gave right examples to understand it, sir. Thank you very much. Lambodar, next slide. Next with us, we have an expert from pharmaceutical industry, Mr. Mrinmay Roy, working as assistant professor at IHMR Bangalore. He's a certified good pharmacy practice and international good clinical practice professional from Faculty of Pharmaceutical Medicine, Royal College of Physicians, UK. He has more than 13 years of experience in pharma industry and academics. He has launched PGDM pharmaceutical management specialization at IHMR Bangalore by spearheading the course curriculum and structure of the same. He has been worked with a renowned institute organization like Glenmark, Lupin, Cipla. Before joining IHMR, he worked at AstraZeneca as strategic marketing manager, Asia area. He's also won the outstanding award winner in the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research Summer Research Training Program in the year 2020. He has published research papers and book chapters in journals of national and international repute and indexed in Scopus, Springer, and Google Scholar, etc. Welcome to you, sir.
Hello, Dr. Deepa.
Sir, as an industry expert, we are seeing a rapid growth in pharma industry today, and our new students and our participants want to know more what a significant role a PGDM graduate can play in pharmaceutical industry. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, to answer this question, I would just take a few points of how the industry is poised or how the industry is placed at right now for India and the entire international arena, because India have contributed a lot in last 2 years and during this COVID-19 period. So the pharmaceutical industry, if I talk about India, it is not only about the domestic industry in India, it is also the international industry, which is catering to the almost 200 plus countries. For vaccines, if you take, like it is taking care of 50% of Africa's requirement. of generics. Okay, so we are thinking of this, there is Janoshadi here, but there is also the generics over there in other countries. Almost 40% of generic demand in US and also 25% of all medicines of UK. So that is the power of India right now. That is why India is called as pharmacy of the world. The next is like if actually it's been taken care of also 60% of global vaccine. And for COVID-19 scenario, it has been actually taken care for the Covishield, for the Covaxin as well. And also the leading supporter for DPT and BCG vaccines, and also even measles. And for WHO, 70% of scheduled vaccines, which is going from India.
Yes.
So that is actually the important part what we are taking care of. So if any graduate who are actually coming out of any of the background, like whether the person is from MBBS, BDS, engineering, or plain graduation, and after that they are doing PGDM course in pharmaceutical management, the course curriculum is designed in such a way that they can take up the managerial positions of any of the department. And the departments are 26 such different departments are already there, starting from like any kind of depends on like formulations, then also drug development, then also manufacturing, then also approval processes like legal and all, for branding as well, and for marketing. And marketing is not only sales and marketing, there is also digital marketing, which is actually taken care by promoting into the social media also, and also taking care of the digital prescriptions, which is a part of online pharmacy as well. So it is also booming up. So entire healthcare sector, with the help of pharmaceutical management, it is actually taken care of. And not only that, there are also other options like sales and marketing. If any person want to pursue, so there is chances like it can be managing director within 5 or 10 years. Depends on the targets, depend on the sales, depends on the revenue generations. Okay, and then next is like product management, which is actually most sought after career in the pharmaceutical industry. And not only pharma, it's also medical devices industry, which is actually people are looking after, because the product management is actually owning the product. And also it is not only that, it is actually liaising with all the other divisions of the company like legal, marketing, sales, operations, entrepreneurship, and as well as customer service and research and development and finance. And they can actually grow very well because they can be director of marketing, they can be VP, they can be any of the CEO of the companies over there. And they are strategizing the entire marketing concepts of any company. They are generating the revenues. So sales and marketing guys actually promoting the brands over there to the doctors' clinics, and they are generating the entire strategies. They are product guys or product management guys. The next is actually development of the products, like any kind of clinical research part, which is pharmaceutical development. So that will be depends on like we are as we know that clinical research takes us a lot of time. Like it takes means like 5,000 molecules if we actually shortlist. Then coming out of the product, it is actually taken of 5 molecules only. So the entire process takes place almost 15 to 20 years. From that, actually, the entire process takes almost like starting from patent, then selecting the drug candidate, marketing authorizations, then who are the products which is going off patent, market withdrawal. Each and every department requires a managerial position. So they can think of, yes, where I want to go, what I want to do. The entire curriculum has been designed in such a way they can be absorbed in any of the departments like this. And not only that, the last and not but the least, it is international marketing and international business. So there are positions like country managers, there are positions like BD, business development in international business. There are even product managers who are actually given like kind of area or zonal, like in European Union, like US, like Southeast Asia, then emerging markets. So there is a huge plethora of opportunity, and it is actually poised at almost $130 billion US market, which is not only domestic, it is also the international market. So that is what is the possibilities here in pharma marketing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. In one question, I think you have enlightened us with all the opportunities, that's saying that there are n number of opportunities in the healthcare industry, especially in pharma and medical device industry. Thank you, Mrunmayee sir. Lambodar, can you share the PPT? Next with us, we have Dr. Rajeshwari BH. Dr. Rajeshwari is working as assistant professor at IHMR Bangalore. She's a public health professional and working as assistant professor at IHMR. With 20 years of experience in healthcare industry and more than 10 years of research experience, she has the right mix of experience and education. She is the recipient of NUPIC Fellowship from 2016 to 2020 for her PhD titled Performance of Primary Healthcare Centers in Bengaluru Urban District and Evaluation from the Care and Public Health Research Institutions, Faculty of Health, Medicine and Life Sciences, Maastricht University, Netherlands. She's a proficient in qualitative and quantitative research methodology in healthcare with an interest in healthcare services research, healthcare technology assessment, healthcare planning, and management. She's efficient in evidence generation presentation through a methodological approach and a strong drive to see things through to completions. Before this, she has worked with the state institutions of Health and Family Welfare Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Karnataka, contributing immensely to establish government hospitals into research institutions. Welcome to you, ma'am. Ma'am, through your profile, we see that you have worked in different level organizations, starting from government, NGO, academic institution, and as a researcher. With all your experience, please tell our participants what are the skills which is required to outstand in public health sector. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Deepashri. Even before I talk about the skill sets needed in public health, I should touch upon what public health comprises of. Correct. So public health is about keeping people out of hospital to reduce their mortality and morbidity due to disease, reducing the disease burden, and minimize the out-of-pocket expenditure for the population. Okay, it is about making a healthier country. It is not just about communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases, or nutrition. It is also about occupational health, environmental health, and the excessive use of fungus, antifungal agent in agriculture, or antibiotics in husbandry. It is also about road rage that is on the rise. Okay, public health and health management. There is again confusion between these two terms, right? Public health is about using the methods of surveillance to improve on the health of the population. Health management, where you'll be using more of managementarial concepts to improve health. Okay, that is how you differentiate. It can sometimes used synonymously, but yeah, it is two parallel, very thin line between the two domains. Okay, let me take an example of a dog bite. If a person has a dog bite, he is taken to the hospital. That consists of the clinical component. So a person is bitten by a dog. So you have to administer a vaccine development, all of that forms the community medicine. Then there is a need for producing the, when to give dog bite, vaccine, how to provide it, how to manage the availability and of these vaccines. That constitutes a public health or health management component. So this is how you distinguish. So you should have clarity in that. And mostly public health or health management is multi-sectoral. So communication plays a very important role. You should be able to work with a single person at various levels or with the masses. Okay. So ideally, I would say public health person should be a jack of all and master of many. Not just one, few, but many. That is the basic component. When you look at theoretically, WHO has given 6 pillars of public health: health services, health workforce, information, medicine and technology, financing, leadership, and governance. So a person doing public health or health management has scope to work in all the components, and based on the component that he's trying to focus, he has to have a particular domain experience, domain knowledge, and field experience. These two are irreplaceable in health management. Okay. Then all these components can have research component also. And being a recipient of a NOFIC, I would like to tell you there is no dearth of funding if your idea has got high impact and it is original. Mostly you will not get funding for copycat researches. So you have to develop your own idea. Then you have national, international philanthropic institutions, organizations willing to give you whatever you ask for until unless they see the value and you believe in the concept. Okay, so Dr. Kirti has already told about the communication and leadership and all that. To that, I would like to add 3 important components, particularly to the public health. You need to have a lot of patience, because what you do, what decisions you take today, you will not see the results tomorrow. you will see the results probably 5 years, 10 years down the lane. When you look at our life expectancy during independence were around 40, 45, now it is 70, almost nearing 70. This is what we have achieved through public health and health management. So you need to have patience and perseverance. Public health is all about perseverance. Tomorrow you go to the field and say, I'll give you polio drops. Nobody accepted it. It took 10 years for people to come forward and say, no, I want my child to be administered, OPV or IPV, whatever it is. So that is the kind of perseverance you should have, and multitasking. You should be able to work on many things simultaneously. And with all these things, I think you will ace the field. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rajeshwari ma'am. Jack of all, master of all. I think
many,
my master of many. Yes, I think that's the tagline. I think we have to put for public health sector. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajeshwari. Lambodar, can you help me with the next slide? Yes. Yeah. Next, we have with us Dr. Akash. He's working as assistant professor at IHMR Bangalore. He's a healthcare researcher with 5 years of experience in health systems, strengthening digital health and AI and ML applications in healthcare management. He has worked with various state governments, Indian Council of Medical Research, several national and international funding agencies for strengthening the healthcare delivery using data analytics and building a comprehensive healthcare system. He has conducted training sessions for ASHA workers, nurses, Ayush physicians for using digital tools in primary healthcare. He has published 12 plus research papers in multiple technical reports, collaborated with researchers across various countries, and worked in multi-sectorial team. Welcome to you, Dr. Akash.
Thank you, Dr. Deepashri.
Sir, now, today, in this era, AI, that is artificial intelligence, and a big data analysis are seen as a crucial in all sectors of business management, right, sir? Can you throw us some light how it is more important in healthcare industry too?
Yeah, sure. So when we talk about AI ML per se, we have to understand that basics or whatever the design of AI ML was undertaken some years back. It was basically for two things. One was to analyze a large data set and bring out something that is not visible or not clear out of our linear analysis that we are doing in healthcare, where we were able to say that if we increase the number of people who are getting vaccines, the disease will decrease. That was the idea that we had earlier. But when we combine the big data, there was always a kind of understanding that came in that no, not only it will drop down linearly. If you vaccinate 100 people, it's not that 100 people would bring down the prevalence. There was a kind of non-linearity where as you increase, as you reach to 80-90% coverage, the immunity was all around. So that's where the idea of herd immunity came in also. So that's part of machine learning that kind of binds with the big data analysis, where data from multiple sectors, not only healthcare, but from other sectors like administration, revenue, pharmaceuticals, all joined together to make a sense out of information. And that's what we call as DIKW model, data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. So the idea is that the machine will do the work of data, information, and knowledge, while humans have to finally just look and build a wisdom out of it. That's where the machine learning comes in. While AI itself is certainly a different part, where the main key part of AI algorithm is to predict. And when they predict, they usually predict based on patterns. Now, the simple example is how Amazon predicts, or Facebook and Amazon integrate to predict your shopping patterns. If you search something over Google for a week, I think for months together, you will see the advertisement all across your mobile phone. Why? Because the data is shared by one platform, by Google, in Amazon also, it will Flipkart also, maybe across, because they pay each other, and where you are the product. Doing that in a non-healthcare setup is easy because the data is being collected from the person directly. The issue comes in healthcare because the healthcare data is with various stakeholders, including doctors, nurses, labs. So the key part here is that the data should be combined in a single data set, and then should be put through a algorithm where it will predict. But to do that, there are a lot of legal and medical, what we call as the process that has to be followed. You cannot directly use the data. So that's where India and even globally, the healthcare IT sector is moving now. And as part of what we are clinicians, we're saying that dentists, doctors, medical doctors, they will not play the part of developing algorithm here, but they will moreover see the part of how data is flowing, from where they can get the data and how to make sense out of it. So the course which we are talking about, the PGDHM and specialization in health IT or other, it's focusing specifically on developing those skills which will a manager or anyone can apply to oversee such projects. You will not be micromanaging them, but you will oversee the management. And the industry of AI/ML is currently, if you only look with the what Facebook is saying with its Meta, is running towards $1 trillion industry itself. The valuation of this big tech is growing. Why? Because they understand that it's a person who is a product, not so the data is a goal for 21st century, and that's why this is a booming industry. And healthcare, as of now, is a very small part of it. But eventually, with India being 1.3 billion population, the value will be humongous in terms of how much this algorithms can play. And if any company and there is more scope of building an entrepreneurship domain also in AI/ML now, because it's still highly non-penetrated industry. So that's, I think I can summarize about how AI/ML in an industry across any industries and healthcare is working. And also, what is the scope a student can see from, like, say, once he is getting graduated from here, then he has to look more into an entrepreneur or more into the new age startups, the gig economy, which is actually booming because of AI/ML. I think that would answer the question.
Thank you so much, Akash sir. I think you made us easy to understand. I think you and Pradeep, so that's the expertise you bring, because you made us understand in a simple examples what is digital health and how to analyze for us. Thank you, Subodh. Lambodar, will you help me with next slide? Yes. Today we also have with us Dr. Subodh, working as assistant professor at IHMR Bangalore. He has completed his doctorate in pharmaceutical sciences and post-graduation in pharmaceuticals. He has more than 4 years of experience in the research and academics. He has published papers in national and international repute. He is also expert in community-based research, quantitative research, and sustained release dosage forms. Welcome to you, Subodh. I think, Dr. Subodh, our webinar will not end with the question of the pandemic from last 2 years. Sir, has the pandemic affected the opportunities in healthcare, or what are the opportunities a healthcare management professional can look in healthcare industry now? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, yes. When it comes to the pharmaceutical management, there was a lot of we can say like the pharmaceutical sector. There was a lot of challenges in the beginning, in the time of the pandemic and all. So the companies had to shut down, the production has actually stopped. But still we can say like the Indian pharmaceutical companies has done a great job, because let us take the examples of AstraZeneca and also take the examples of Bharat Biotech, who came up with Covishield, who came up with Covaxin. And also when it comes to Dr. Reddy's, they were really involved in distribution of Sputnik 5 from Russia throughout the India. So they have played a great role. So once again, we can take that an example, because the opportunities are actually opened in drug production, product development. And again, many of the pharmaceutical companies in India, they are trying really hard to get the GS1 standards. So GS1 standards is something that is accepted globally. So this actually helps the pharmaceutical companies in India to overcome or combat with the counterfeit drugs. So when it comes to counterfeit drugs, we know that there are a lot of problems that are actually associated with counterfeit drugs. So they are creating a lot of challenges to the pharmaceutical industry also. But the Indian pharmaceutical companies are more concerned about that. They are applying for the GS1 standards to make sure that the products that they are coming up with are of desired quality and all. So again, when it comes to the medical devices, nutraceuticals, it has grown a lot. And even it was like 6.1% increase in the importing of nutraceuticals in India during the pandemic. So that actually shows the importance. Again, when it comes to the research and development, there have been a lot of growth. Many companies are actually applying for patents. Many companies are actually submitting for ANDA approval. So that actually shows that the companies are involved, the companies are focusing more on getting more approvals, focusing more on getting or involving more in research and development. That actually shows the opportunities are open for the pharma professionals also. Those who are actually completing the pharmaceutical or completing a PGTM in pharmaceutical management, they can get into this supply chain management, product management. Let us consider digital marketing, production and development, clinical research, just like Mrinmoy sir has actually suggested. Again, incorporation of AI and AI-based technology, AI and ML in diagnostics. So I think already Dr. Akash and Mrinmoy sir has, Pradeep sir also, Mrinmoy sir has also explained regarding the importance of AI ML when it comes to the healthcare devices or medical devices, as well as the pharma devices and all. So all these things are opening up a lot of opportunities. So when it comes to a healthcare professional or even a pharma and also a pharma professional, there are a lot of opportunities and new opportunities has been developed, or new opportunities are coming after the pandemic also. So there are a lot. So lot of new opportunities, to be concise.
Thank you, Subodh, for highlighting the more opportunities in pharma sector and specifically telling us where and how it has been opened. Thank you, Subodh sir. Piyush sir, I would like to take up one question for you there, Piyush sir and Kirti ma'am. There is a question on international placements and international internship. I think you both will be the best people to answer that. Piyush sir, over to you.
Yeah, so international placements, last current batch only, the last batch we have. So there are nearly 7 students who are joining Burjeel Hospital in Abu Dhabi. So international placements we do give. And from this year, we're also exploring the other geographies of Africa and other Middle Eastern countries. Coming to internship, yes, we do provide assistance for the international internship, but then there are certain costs associated with it. So if students are willing to take on that, we have that capability to provide international internships as well. Because even our faculty members come from international expertise, and we have our hospitals who are our academic partners. So they facilitate, and it's very easy for us to get the international placements and even the internship opportunities. Dr. Kirti, would you like to add?
Well answered, Mr. Piyush, and I have also mentioned the same point on the chat box as well. So the point is, yes, we have the international placement and some more internship opportunity, but yes, the students have to understand the really pros and cons and accordingly to take up the decision. But yes, the possibility and the opportunity exist.
And besides this, also one thing, we also there are some ongoing projects. So with these associates, whenever they have some requirement for some internal work from the company, they involve our students. So as of now, a couple of students are also working for Middle Eastern consulting firms when they are supporting for their some operational work and for some research activities. So whatever possible online is also available, which goes as a part of the curriculum. I mean, beyond your summer internship, which gives you more industry specific.
Yeah.
Well answered, Dr. Kirti and Mr. Piyush. Thank you so much. Dr. Sarla, you highlighted that many of our alumni also work in internationally, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I think we have taken up most of the questions which were put in the chat box, and I have to tell you, we have passed 17 minutes out of our schedule.
Yeah. Dr. Deepa, sorry to interrupt. I think one more question we have not addressed. The last question related to hospital management, if you can check once.
Various posts in hospital one can get in the completion of the course?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Yes. So Sabna has asked, what are the various posts in hospital one can get into completion after completion of the course, that especially with the hospital management? Over to you, Kirti ma'am, and later Piyush sir can add few points on that.
Yeah. So again, see, hospital is a kind of like business organization only, where there are different management functions in terms of different management department. For example, operations department, quality department, administrative department, marketing department, human resource department, purchase department, finance department, and so on. So based on these different departments, educational background, skills and interest, our students are placed into these different departments at an initial level, either as a management trainee or an executive. If they are experienced, then they are placed at senior executive or assistant manager, and accordingly they grow. So basically in hospital management, what are the different roles specifically you have to do? So if you are placed in operation department, then maybe you will be the floor manager, where you have to manage one IPD floor, taking care end-to-end need of the patient. If you are placed in the quality department, then you have to ensure that all the compliances of NABH accreditation, NQAS accreditation, quality tools are implementing in the hospital, so that we are ensuring the patient in terms of providing patient care in a quality manner, which is called technically patient safety. So that is another role. Third, it may be possible you will be placed in a typical human resource or marketing department, where you will be responsible for selecting, training, and managing the right personnel for your hospital. And if it is marketing department, then you have to drive the business, right from managing the multiple sales and marketing activities. So these are the multiple roles taken care by our students placed in different departments. Mr. Piyush, would you like to add something?
Yeah, and this is only for the initial role, what Dr. Kirti has said. So over the time when you grow, if you see, many of our alumni from IHMR, they are working at a very senior level, like CEO, facility director, be it Manipal Hospital, Fortis Hospital, lot of hospitals in Middle East, like you have Lifeline Hospital, Life Care Hospital, Gulf Medical University, GMC. So many of them are actually leading the healthcare organization as of now. And over the period of 5-10 years, they have been able to easily scale to that level. So there is a lot of opportunity which presents into healthcare and in India and even in the Middle Eastern countries and African countries, which are typically almost similar to work when it comes to the people who pass out from the Indian management institutes.
Thank you, Kirti ma'am and Piyush sir. Ma'am, I know we are exceeding the time, but I have two important questions. One is, a participant has asked, a new Omicron subvariant is prevalent, and if in case required lockdown, will it affect studies, training, and placement? How will you manage such condition? I think all of us wanted to know how, as an academics dean, how you're planning if in case there is a lockdown.
Yeah, so before coming to my planning part, one point I would like to highlight: COVID batch, what we call the batch of 2022. So COVID started in 2020 and still persists. So that is my one COVID batch, what I say, the batch of 2022. They have got the placement in less than 60 days. In only 2 months, my all 95 students are placed in different domains of healthcare industry. So when it comes to placement, it doesn't matter. On the other hand, whether it is Omicron or overall COVID situation, the point is we need manpower in the healthcare industry to manage these kind of pandemic. And that is why there are a lot of options and recruitment possibility in the healthcare industry, because we have to manage this kind of pandemic and endemic in future as well. So as we all know, healthcare is a recession-free industry. So as such, there is no problem in terms of placing our students, even in the COVID time. Coming to the academics curriculum and summer internship, so again, we have certain A and B plans. So for example, with the batch of 2021 and 23, that is my present first year batch. So we have extended their timeline of class. So there's summer training is supposed to start in the month of May, which is now starting in the month of July, because we have started the class quite late considering the AICTE guidelines and the second wave of COVID. But somehow we managed the academic calendar. We accordingly tweak the courses and we place the summer internship and academic courses in such a way so that we can manage the present COVID situation. So as such, there is no problem in terms of managing the timeline for training. But most important thing, if COVID persists, then in that case, there are two options. One, we always manage. Now we all are technically, I will say, not knowledgeable, but yeah, we know how to use technology now. So we can easily manage the hybrid class. So those students who are willing to join the offline class, they can join the campus and take up the class. And those students, maybe because of parents are denying and they have certain XYZ reasons. So in that case, students can join the online class, and our classrooms are quite smart classrooms. So it is well equipped in terms of managing the online and offline class together. So that's why we manage the hybrid class. So if situation persists of rising case in COVID, then in that case, we will be back to the hybrid management of the classes so that we can easily take up the learning part as well. So there is no as such question. COVID, I think it was more tough for us to manage at the time of batch 2020 and 21. Now we are experienced with 2 years of COVID management as well. So we can easily tackle the academic training and placement as well, even during the COVID time. Pradeep sir has raised the hand. Would you like to add something, Pradeep sir?
No, ma'am, actually it is, we extremely did well during the pandemic situation. And we we did extremely well during the situation where we cannot meet physical, means where we cannot have a physical session. So that is what I try to highlight.
Yeah,
we are highly equipped with all the IT infrastructure, whatever is required for engaging the online session. This already addressed, but still again I'm highlighting we extremely did well. With the placement record, we can see the result. Thank you.
Ma'am, I think with COVID, without COVID, offline, online, we are equipped, and education must continue, and we are on for it.
Yeah.
What I want to add, what Dr. Kirti and Pradeep said is, our all the classes happen online, okay, during the COVID. The trainings of placement happened actually in online. So all the students were actually, helped with setting up their computers, and then we had trained all the placements. I'm telling you, the people who are placed, the 95 were actually trained only in online. And the placement also happened not offline mode. 90% it was actually an online mode. So the people at the other end, the placement team in the other end actually coordinated, and we have placed all of them. So everything is possible because of the technology. I think we should thank our technology, our IT department for supporting us. We could do it, and we will do it if there is anything. So not to worry at all.
Ma'am, last question for the day. I know questions are flowing, but I wanted to take up a last question. People want, a participant wanted to know about internship opportunities for students in pharma management. I think Mrinmay sir, can you help us with this?
Yes, Dr. Deepa. So I totally agree with all our respected Dean, Dr. Kirti, and then Pradeep sir and Sarda ma'am also. Last year we have faced this kind of situations that students wanted to have the internship, and that time the lockdown started. So what they did is they did online internships also. There were companies who have provided online internships. One of the best example was COVID Kosha. That was actually the repository of the database management system of the all literatures. By what way we had just now we have spoken about AI and ML. So it's all about like how to select the particular literature where the COVID-19 vaccines are working on which kind of things and what kind of organs and all everything. So those kind of things, just for an example, I'm just showing. Not only that, there is sales and marketing internship also was there online with Certain Labs Mumbai. So there are a lot of students already worked. And when we are just once again be normal, that time students have worked with Axio Biosolutions, then also companies like Micro Labs here in Bangalore. Okay, so they are physically available over there. So these are the internship options. Even though actually we have been closed or we are being locked down, but we are not even getting like students devoid of any kind of exposure. So there are a lot of opportunities even online also. So that is how the opportunities began. So that is how in pharma sector as well, we have a lot of opportunities for internships as well as for placements as well. And it's been already discussed a lot of times. Yes.
Sir, one more question, because they were asking like pharmaceutical management is a new baby for IHMR. It's a new specialization. So how well are you equipped for the placements?
Yeah, so it's actually the record what we got just now, even spoken by a lot of our seniors. So the thing is, it's within 60 days, maximum students or 100% students been placed. So the curriculum, I once again tell that it is the specialization which is actually complementing each other once again. It is not only about the pharma, not only about the hospital or health IT or even public health. So students who actually gone for pharma, they have already been absorbed for the companies who are actually providing the solutions for IT. They are already the implementation experts somewhere. But the solutions, what they are providing is related to pharma or healthcare. So it depends on, like the first batch also, we have 16 students. There are core pharma placements. There are also even tech placements, like health IT placements. There are also even like analytics part of it. There are even product managements, all also like supply chains and even health IT. So that is how it is. So it is every examples what we have got. It's a mix and all everything for the placements opportunities. So students have to think in like this way, not only confined into only one thing, because healthcare is a very vast segment. We have seen that already.
Thank you all. I know exceeded for 28 minutes as of now. Thank you so much for all my faculties at IHMR Bangalore for taking time on this weekend and helping our participants to understand each specializations at IHMR Bangalore and telling us about the modules, the placements opportunities, what we have. I think the questions will never end. We'll be getting the questions and we'll get back to you for the answers. And thank you so much all. I'm requesting all the panel members to enable their videos so that we can take a group shot. Dr. Akash, and I'm requesting Dr. Kirti to enable their video. For participants, we have put a feedback link in the chat. Do give us a feedback regarding the program or any query about IHMR Bangalore and the courses we offer. So thank you so much. I request Lamodar to take a group picture for us. Yes, smile please. Yes, thank you everyone. Thank you for the participants to be here on the weekends. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Deepa, for hosting this show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Dr. Deepashree.
Thank you, everyone.
To all the
Thank
participants for being here.
Yes, thank you all.
Deepa.
Okay.